Hi guys, RC Racer here. So this section just going to be a bit about LiPo batteries, an upgrade paths for your vehicles. On the left hand side here you can see the FTX Outback 2, and on the right is the Carnage, FTX Carnage. So right, what I'm going to do is just show you the stock battery for a Carnage. So the Carnage, this is the brush version, has basically comes with a standard NIMH battery, which is about, it's an 1800 7.2 volt battery with the standard Tamiya connection on here, which will connect straight into the car. So that's your stock battery. It just goes in, connects up, goes into the car, and the stock, the ESC unit is set to run this type of battery. There is, however, an upgrade option. You can just upgrade that battery here, which is an 1800, to the same type of connector and battery with a bit more power. So for instance, this one's got 3600, so same sort of battery, but it will just run for longer. This one here runs for about 10 minutes, 15. This one will run for about 25 minutes. So that's upgrade path 1. Don't have to do anything. Vehicle stays on stock settings. Connectors are the same, Tamiya connectors. Away you go. Just gives you longer run times, and that's pretty much it. So that's the first option. Option number 2 is go for a LiPo battery. So if you put the LiPo battery in the vehicle, there is a jumper setting, and it's quite hard to see, down here, just under here, where the on-off switch is. Yeah, that's the on-off switch, but under there, some jumpers, and I don't know if we're going to be able to get in there to see, but it basically, in the small, tiny print, says LiPo jumper to the right, move it to the left. Sorry, normal battery on the right, put the jumper over to the left. It says here in tiny print, and then it's LiPo. So you just need to take the jumper off, seat it on the left hand side to put a LiPo in, and it's LiPo ready. This is the latest Carnage, so I don't know about the older models, but I'm pretty sure ones within the last few recent years are upgradable, or to run LiPo standard without doing anything to it. So next is the LiPo battery itself. So this is a 2-cell. Unless you want, the Carnage is pretty fragile anyway, unless you want to like blow it up and melt it, I would stick within 2 cells. Go 3-cell if you want, but it's up to you. And also, because it's brushed, do not run it on 3S, because it'll probably just burn out your motor in a few seconds. Right, so this is basically 5200, whereas you'll see here, that's 1800, and we moved up to 3600. Now with the LiPo we're at 5200 milliamps. So the next bit is, the runtime will be longer on this, so the runtime will probably be somewhere between 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, and the capacity is here, so 60C, so that's basically how much charge it will hold. You've got the balance connector here, and then on here, so how long the capacity is, so how long the battery will run for, really. The higher the capacity, the better. Here you've got the Dean's connector. So that's again the same brand as this other one. I found them to be quite a good brand, Gold Bat. They're fairly cheap. This LiPo was 15 quid. In fact, this battery here, the standard batteries, was more, it was about 20 quid. This is the LiPo charger, so this is can be picked up on Amazon. This one was about 15 quid. Comes with came with a really rubbish one of these, which was 10 amp, and this is a figure of 8 connector. I didn't really trust it. A few reviews said you should basically upgrade this to be a 30 amp. So this is like a 30 amp fuse rather than 10 amp fuse. And then plug it in. The reviews are good, pretty good on this one. It's not like as good as an IMAX Sky V2 charger, which will cost you a lot more, like 50-60 quid, but it's a balanced charger for both 2-cell LiPos and 3-cell. So there you can see. Nothing amazing, but does the job. So there's really no reason why nowadays you can't get LiPo battery for like 15 quid. This was £14 something on Amazon Lightning deal, and the charger was £17.99. Yeah, so this obviously connects with the balance connector, charges till full, and has a Dean's connector T-plug here. So for this to go in the vehicle, what we would do is take the Carnage. Obviously, like I said earlier, you have to get in here and flip it over to LiPo by changing the jumper, which I can fiddly do here. I've got the jumper in my hand, like so, and then I need to move it across. This might be more technically challenging in the dark with little fingers. I should have put some pliers. Now I've dropped it. Here we go. Here's one I made earlier. So push that in. It's now done. Reseated. It's in there. So it says just here where none of you guys can see there. Here it basically says in the tiny diagram, if I can get right in there, LiPo, move the bottom jumper over to the left, which I've done. So that's now done. LiPo here obviously is where you're also going to need some trickery. So standard connector on the Carnage is a Dean's Tamiya connector, large one. So I've got an adapter. These are on eBay for like 2 quid. So it is a Tamiya connector to Dean's. So what that does is your LiPo 2-cell battery here connects in like so. Ta-da. Now it's got the Tamiya connector, which connects in here. And then obviously if you've got a Traxxas or another vehicle and it has another type, you just get a different connector, so it connects up to your vehicle. So this one then, battery will go in like so. And again, this is where you find out, oh, the battery's actually bigger than the living vehicle. No, it's fine. And then the connector goes in like this, and hopefully it doesn't explode. I'm just kidding, probably will. And that's it. Then obviously you can turn your vehicle on. I don't have the, there we go. Hasn't gone pop, don't have the transmitter in here. There's that one there is for the Outback. But yeah, it's now on. You can run it 2-cell LiPo. Simple really, really easy. I'm going to zoom in to show you it in there. So 2-cell LiPo now in the vehicle. That was it. That's obviously flashing, there's no transmitter connected, that's the other one. And then you can see in total, let's just put everything on the vehicle off. This is the bit where you like afterwards. I'll put in the description what you've got. So that's the charger, and I bought the boxes along so you can see those. That's the LiPo box, so you can see that. Here's a spare one of those connectors, so you can see the Dean's connector to Tamiya. And that's it. 2-cell LiPo ready to roll. Just give you longer run times and makes the vehicle a bit quicker. So that's about it. Any questions, post them below. That is basically kind of your standard routes for upgrade. Whether you got a brushed or a brushless vehicle. Just increase your run times, give you a bit of extra power, top speed. If you've got a brushless, this one's brushed, but if you've got a brushless, you can probably go up to 3S if you want. I've always run 2S's in my vehicles just because I just find it's fast enough for me. If you get a decent 2S battery, I've been able to run with people with 3S's. I think, like, I had a Rustler with a 2S in there, high quality battery, good capacity and power, and it was keeping up with people that were running 3S's in there. I guess it depends on how crazy you go with the gearing and all of that, but I've never had a problem. And also the Carnages, like, let's just go off on one now. The Carnage, the stock is fairly plastic. These bumpers break all the time. It's plastic here, so what happens is you smash into something, and these break. This wishbone here, like on the front, snaps, or the other side. Still got my finger on the camera. The other side, the shock. Oh, I say the shock tower. It's not these towers for the shelf. I forget what I called them earlier. But the mounting posts. This bit here is all like a big jigsaw puzzle together, but it comes off. That broke because the impact of the bumper then pushed all that back. So it's just a very plasticky car. Yeah, running. You look for like RPM parts for these, but you can't get them. But you can probably get carbon fibre bits here or something. But yeah, it's just notoriously breaks, and not just that. Underneath it, unless you get a whole metal bottom chassis, I've had it where the bumper, this bit, is cracked here, this plate, because where the bumper's pushed back, it's then pulled these bits off because it's mounted here as well up, and I've had to replace the whole base plate. It's not expensive, but it's annoying and time consuming. You have to take all of the screws out, everything, take everything out, obviously the motor's there as well, and then put a new one on, reattach everything. It's a pain in the arse, but yeah, so just running a 3S, you're just more likely to have higher speeds and do more damage. And I just found the FTX cars are great, but they are a bit fragile. Parts are cheap, but yeah, not as easy as with Traxxas. You probably spend more money on the Traxxas, RPM parts, aluminium bits, but it's entirely up to you. And then a crawler, put a 2-cell LiPo in that. I think I showed you the mission I have with this one. Going off on a tangent for anyone who wants to know. This nowadays comes with a tiny little battery pack here, 7.2 NH battery, FTX. Right, great. Comes with this. You think, oh look, Tamiya, no problem, just do what I did with the Carnage. Oh no, the old Tamiya connection is a baby one, so no luck there. Also the freaking battery, take it out of this one now, if I can unplug it one-handed. Right, I'm going to need to put you down, hang on. Back in the room, here we go. LiPo in. Bosh. Yeah, it's almost as big as the vehicle. Basically, it doesn't fit. You can strap it in, but you can move the straps. And this bit underneath here is like, these posts come out a little bit, and they can unscrew, and you can move them back slightly. And then it's wide enough, you can get that in there. And that obviously has these underneath. I did this before, and you can see this on the Outback unboxing, but video that I've got, they come out, that comes out a bit, but I don't think it's going to come out. I'm going to do both ends enough for it to hold in place, so what I'm going to have to do is just push it against here, like strap it in, and then you should be good with that. But it is like massive, and I've got to then get an adapter from baby Tamiya into frickin' the Dean's connector here. Great. Didn't really work that one out. I thought it was going to have a normal adult size connector. God damn it. But again, these are LiPo ready. So that's it as far as batteries are concerned. So I'll stick the lids back on. Batteries everywhere. There you go. This is the battery video. It's gone off on a bit of a tangent, but I hope it helps. If you want, I'll stick the descriptions and links to these bits and pieces. And for your comparison, these are both 1/10 scale. This is the Carnage and the Outback 2, crawler and a sort of off-road truck. Let's put them in comparison, because a bit of an extra bonus. You don't often get to see multiple vehicles all lined up together. Yeah, so that gives you a bit of an idea. And they're pretty cool. Obviously the battery bit is sticking out of the Outback, but so it rides a lot higher. You can see about 4 inches off the table for clearance for crawling. This is the crazy Carnage that just seems to want to destroy itself all the time. So that's enough from me now. That's pretty cool. Should do a different video, shouldn't I? Comparison of the two, for anyone that wants to see. Alright, but a little bonus on the end of this video. So yep, RC Racer out. Any questions, post them in the comments below. Cheers.